Hello and welcome back to Rayman Origins. High voltage is the next level we're gonna do, and well, you can just guess what the gimmick on that one is gonna be. Oh sweet, more of these piano keys. Come on, go, 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 go. Dang it. I just never get those lumps with the power up, no matter how fast I go. There's always a spark or something in the way. The game just doesn't want me to have them. The sparks here are unique to the stage, and you simply pass through them when they're small. Simple as that. Oh, and here's another one of those pillars you can get on top of. There's more of them to the left, but this is the only point where you can actually get on top of it, because the screen will just stop scrolling upwards, and if you're left outside the screen, the hovering stops working. And right below us is where we started the level. If we go a little bit more to the left, we find ourselves in the void. Nothing to see here, folks, except for some nice graphical glitches. Nice and pointless. Oh, sweet, we can play some piano here. And the notes are actually in tune with the background music. The sound design is just awesome in this game. This is pretty neat, I think. It creates the illusion of moving upwards, even though it's just a structure sinking into the sand. They really must have liked the idea too, because they had an entire level devoted to this concept in Rayman Legends. I think they might have had a couple of them, actually. Oh, how nice. The llama actually waited for us all this time. So I'm guessing time must stop whenever you enter a secret room. I always have trouble with these moving platforms. This bag is really easy to miss. It's probably among the hardest ones to find in the entire game, and it's not even worth all that much. Whoa, just barely dodged that spark there. Alright, I've really gotta make this one count. And I missed the bag. I'm such a klutz. The reason I went to the right instead is because I thought that the payout would be better with the lumps over there. But the bag holds the exact same amount, and they're easier to get to boot. So if in the future I ever say a level doesn't give you enough lumps, just disregard it entirely, I guess. Well, there's an obvious secret right there. They don't use that too often in this game. That is, point you in the right direction with lumps. Drawing yet another comparison to Donkey Kong Country, that one had a whole lot of bananas pointing you to secrets and what have you. I'm not saying they should have done it here, because there's always the soundbite helping you out. But still, it's something to think about, I guess. Okay, so you don't want to hug the wall here, actually. It's much safer to stand in the middle and jump. If you accidentally jump while hugging the wall, well, that can happen. Alright, one final stretch. Got a whole lot of obstacles here. Everything's kind of in sync, I suppose, but depending on when you enter the screen and when you start running, the outcome can vary, so gotta be kind of careful about that. No, my lumps, my beautiful lumps, come back here. Don't leave me. Ouch. Well, that's what I get for being greedy. Let's do that again. It's actually better that I messed up there. Now I can do it properly, at least. This time I'll make sure to get those lumps at the bottom too, because we're not in that much of a hurry to reach the lumps on the right. Also, getting the coin from the bottom, a lot easier that way. 370 lumps. Can't believe I thought it was difficult to get the medal here. Oh, come on! What is wrong with me today? Okay, that's more like it. High voltage is probably the least gimmicky level in Grumbling Grottos. It has all the electricity going on, but it's still basic platforming most of the time. Savage Worms had all those flies and no enemies. Tricky Winds had the gusts that help you move along. And this next one? Well, do I really have to spell it out for you? Hey there, Serpent Flute, buddy. Long time no see. Snake Eyes obviously is a continuation to Skyward Sonata, but with a couple of extra ideas thrown in. You'll see them in a bit. Okay, hope you're prepared for some real ass backwards moves. I have no idea why I'm going for the center bird first. Would make much more sense to get the outer circle cleared first. And believe it or not, it's really difficult to get to that cage. Always seem to get stuck somewhere. Come on, get in there! It always feels like my legs get stuck on those snakes. You can imagine how annoying that can get when you're trying to speed through the level. Okay, you guys want to see something real annoying? How on earth was I supposed to know there was electricity there when the screen doesn't scroll up automatically? And if you go all the way to the right, you're gonna have to be pretty quick to reach it in time. It's a trap, that's what it is. Just a trap, and it shouldn't be like that. Well, I got that out of my system, and here's where the level gets more interesting, as it throws two snakes your way. They don't really make the most out of them yet, but it gets a little bit better later on. Rayman's got the beat, man. Can't argue with that. So now we get a vertical room, something that wasn't in Skyward Sonata. And I swear getting stuck on these snakes is so easy. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but I missed most of the bonus. So that's great. Even with all the weird stuff going on with the snakes and the hitboxes and stuff like that, it's still a much more engaging level than the first snake level that we saw. So I gotta say they definitely improved their game here. Uh-oh, don't want to go too far without my ride. Although, we could easily clear the screen without it. Something that's also an improvement on the first snake level. But more on that in the next update. See? Getting that coin? No problem, because you could see the electricity well in advance. Why wouldn't they do that with the first one too? You probably noticed we picked up some punching gloves before. I don't really know what purpose they serve here. They don't seem to do you that much good. Sure, you can break walls with them, you can press switches, but there haven't been that many, to be honest. They get slightly more imaginative with the snakes here, using them as walls, creating tunnels like this. Unfortunately, just as it gets interesting, we won't be seeing that anymore. Birdie, you sure picked the wrong spot. Right here at the end, you want to follow the snake down because it leads you to a secret. Well, it's a mosquito secret, but as it so happens, it's also one of the best places to appreciate the beautiful backgrounds in the game. So enjoy the sights while I take these guys out. Almost there, just gotta take out that red dude. Man, they move erratically. Seriously, the best tip I could give is just mash the buttons like crazy. The faster you get out of that spot, the faster you'll be safe. And so here we are, with the same amount of lumps as we had in high voltage, it seems. It's entirely different though, because here you can't dawdle around. The snakes are not going to wait around for you, so if you take too much time trying to grab a coin or a power-up, they're just going to move on and you have to restart. Lumps aside, I prefer Snake Eyes to Skyward Sonata, on account of it being more versatile and engaging. It's still not a personal favorite, but it's not a bad one either. Aside from that one stupid coin, that is. And that brings us to the boss fight, to Bubble Eyes a Mockingbird, in reference to the classic Harper Lee novel. You know, the one with the giant bird king? Yeah, that one. Isn't that Gregory Peck? Wake up, sleepyhead, early bird, etc. I love the way he freaks out. There's the weak spot right there, and I could hit it immediately and move on to phase 2. But I don't want to skip the first phase just yet. So at this point, he'll just fly back and forth and throw eggs down on you. And you can use those to farm for lumps. Oh, and those weak spots, by the way, those are called buboes. Seriously, they named everything in this game. Okay, I think that's enough. Right after you hit him, a coin is released, and it'll fly away if you're not fast enough and know where it's gonna go. It's a really devious move. The second phase introduces birds that you can use to farm lumps as well. But I think we got enough of them. And there's another coin, just randomly fluttering about. I swear these are some of the worst pickups ever. Uh-oh, I'm in a bad spot. Whew, just barely regained control. Okay, he's out of breath. So you grab his tail, the final bubo appears, and... bam! And looks like he's completely oblivious to what just happened to him. Now you can see why I spent some time accumulating lumps in the first two phases. Hitting the second and third buboes gives you some lumps, but even with both coins and the 3 hearts you get from the first phase, that won't be enough even for the second Electune, not to mention the medal. So you're going to need a minimum of 66 lumps from the eggs or the birds in addition. It's not obvious from the start, which is why this was actually one of the last levels where I got the medal in. And that's it for Grumbling Grottos. A rather gimmicky chapter, something that will reflect on the time trials as well. But more on that next time.